So today we're going to create a market activity report to post on social media, and we're going to gather that information here in RPR. So we're going to start right up here on reports, and we are going to click here on market activity report. Now you'll notice that jumps us right into the market activity report right down here, but we want to scroll up to the top of the page and make sure that we're working in the area for which we want to create the activity report. Now I want to create a market activity report today for zip code 33914. So I'm just going to click here on change address. Now it's important for you to know that you can create a market activity report for a city, for a neighborhood, you could do one for a subdivision, and of course a zip code. So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm going to enter 33914, and we see here Cape Coral, Florida 33914. So I'm going to click on that, and we're good to go. We've got Cape Coral 33914. So again, just click on change address when you're ready to select another area. And I'm going to scroll back to market activity report right down here. And we can click on the plus sign to decide what information we want to include in the market activity report. Keeping in mind that this is going to be for social media, we might not necessarily need to pull in as much information as we would pull in if we were going to be presenting this to a consumer. So I am not going to include a welcome letter. But I do want to include these market snapshots, the estimated home values, the 12-month change. That's all very important. Now I am not going to include, you notice there's no check mark there. If you have a check mark there, you're going to want to deselect that if you do not want to include distressed properties in your market activity report. And I certainly want to include sale price and list price, the market activity summary stats, details, and I don't really need this about RPR data page for what we're doing today. So as we come down, you can see here we can change this period of time. We can select the last 3 days, the last week, last month, 3 months, or 6 months. So it's a great idea, I think, if you're going to begin to do the market activity report posting on social media, to do that on a monthly basis. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here on last month. And I only want to include properties that were for sale. I don't want to include any leased properties. Now we can decide under residential property types what types of property we want to include in our report. So because we're doing this for an entire zip code, we might want to go ahead, I've only currently got single family homes, but we might want to go ahead and add in the condos and townhomes. It's really whatever you want to do, however you want to customize the information. But I think that I will go ahead and deselect condo and townhouse and simply leave single family homes selected. And then the rest of this information I'm going to leave blank just because I want to pull in all of the market activity and I don't want to limit myself based on a price or the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and so forth. And then as far as the number of properties we pull in, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to be using that portion of the report for our social media post. Depending on how you decide you want to use the information, you could certainly make a selection here. And then if you do make a selection in this area for maximum properties, then you would want to include how you would want to sort that information. So you have a number of different ways you can choose to do that. By status, for example, would be a good way to do that for market activity. But again, for what we're doing today, we're not going to be using that portion, so it really doesn't matter for us what's selected here. So now all we have to do is click on Run Report right down here at the bottom of the page, And you can see it is generating the report. I'm just going to close that. You'll notice up here on reports, if I click on that, we've got the report bell, and I have mine turned on. So it's going to take just a few minutes to generate this market activity report. So we'll be back just as soon as that report is ready. Our market activity report has generated, and right at the top of that same page we were just working in, we see it's going to be the very first report right here. And we can click the down arrow here in report options. And the first option is to download report, which is what we're going to do. I want you to see that you can also delete the report. You can post this report directly to Facebook. That is one option. Now, we're not going to do that today. We're going to create our own custom report. The other nice thing you have here is rerun report. And this is going to be very useful for you, because the post that we're creating today is going to be in the form of a template that you will be able to use month after month. From now on, you won't ever have to come in and do everything we just did. All you'll have to do is come in, click on reports, go to the market activity reports, and it will bring you to this page, and you will look for this report. Then it'll show you the day that you ran it and the time that you ran it. And from here, all you have to do is click on rerun report. So when you're ready to post your market activity for next month, you simply click on rerun report. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to go in and enter all of the data that we just entered. So that's going to be a time saver for you in the future. We're just going to go ahead and click on download report. I'm just going to begin to scroll down, and we're going to look at page 1. It gives us the median estimated home value. Now we're currently looking at the month of April. So this is for the entire month of April for 2022. The median estimated home value for single family homes in 33914 was $531,000. The change over the last month, so over March numbers, if we were to go back and look at March numbers, we would see that it was an increase of 6.12%. Over the last 3 months, that would be an increase of 12.54%. We can see the increase over the last year and then the last 24 months. So the next thing we have here is the estimated home value that we just saw, that change over 12 months. We saw the 24 months. This includes the change over 36 months as well. And then if we click on page 4, we're going to see the median sale price. If we go to page 5, we're looking at the median list price. So again, page 4 there is sale price, $644K, and then we can see the month over month change over the last 3, the year over year, and then over 2 years. Now the list price, and again the month over month, 3 months, 12 months, 24 months. And then you start to get into some detailed data that you can choose to use or not, but I am not going to be using this data for what we're doing today. We'll go ahead and kind of focus on the median estimated home value.